I've been raised in an island called New Caledonia, which is a French tropical island, and this is where I've been raised by a family in the Jehovah's Witness, in the Jehovah Witness community. Welcome to the Soapunk TV show. I'm your host, Kronos Heartshiner, here to help you love yourself, cultivate freedom, and trust your magic. Today I have the pleasure to be with my friend Ralica. She's an artist and she's actually doing my portrait. And if you want to know a bit more about her art, I invite you to check the social account that I'm going to put in the description, or you could even ask her maybe for a portrait. When you started to do this portrait, for me Saturday, I came to talk to you about my past as a Jehovah's Witness. Through a series of incidents, I've been inspired to share my journey on YouTube. I had the pleasure to speak with Viviane Rosmediano, which is a coach, a life coach, and she started as well opening about her past as a next Jehovah's Witness and what it implies to empower women that have been raised in that. I feel inspired thanks to her. Hello Viviane, to tell my story now as well, like how I came to become this magician that I am now, have been raised in a very monotheistic Christian cult.
I actually don't know anything except, the joke where they go to your house.
Well, it's not a joke. It's that what we did every week.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So
the joke is true.
The whole cosmogony of the Jehovah's Witness is that the current world we live in is in the hand of the devil, Satan. And God very, very soon, due to some specific calculation they've done with cross-referencing some prophecies which may not have anything to do with each other, they think that the end of the days is extremely soon and Armageddon will come. Jesus with his armies of angels will come and slay every non-believers and spare the Jehovah's Witness to live in a paradise on earth forevermore. So point simply, they call themselves the truth. Look no further around, this is the truth. Boom, stop. And how do they know that this is the truth? Because it is written in the Bible. The Bible says this is the truth, so it is. That is the whole.
That is
truth.
the summary. Yeah. That's interesting because when you said cosmogony, I was just drawing a little cosmos. I don't know if you can see it right there. Is a little cosmos. So. Nice. Okay.
So because they really believe into it, and it was my case, because I was raised as a Jehovah's Witness. It's like we go from door to door to save people before Armageddon came, so as much people can be saved if they repent and submit to God and Jesus. And the way actually the Jehovah's Witness explain this submission to God is through what they call the governing body. A few elect, which are actually the only one able to receive the inspiration from God and the absolute correct interpretation of the Bible as it should be understood. If you deny or if you question even the authority of this governing body, which is a theocracy, then you become an apostate, which I am. Because you're not allowed to question the governing body because they are the channel of God. It is an extremely hierarchical community where authority drips down from God to Jesus, to the governing body, to the elders of the congregation, and then to the man of the family, then to the woman, and then to the children. So there's this huge sexist sense as well, where women are not fit to be direct channel of God because they're below men in that hierarchy. And there is a huge sense of community in the sense that if you're not the most exemplar Christian possible, you could be considered as being bad company. So bad company, once again, is kind of a jargon by itself, like bad company. Woo, bad company? No, I don't want to be associated with that. The whole word for the Jehovah's Witness is bad company because it's in the hands of Satan. So Jehovah's Witness only hang out with other Jehovah's Witness in order to stay spiritually pure. Still a very young age, I was spiritually thirsty for knowledge, for connection with the other side. That's why I was really sincere and I was believing into that. I was praying every night for God. I was very diligently practicing the cult, and I felt this sense of pride to be a Jehovah's Witness. I was baptized at the age of 10 years old, which at that time was a bit young, by the way, but I was fully aware of the knowledge that I was supposed to know, to regurgitate, I would say. And I made my choice consciously. That's the good thing about the Jehovah's Witness. They don't baptize little babies, for example. You need to have some understanding of what is it about and your willingness to be part of the body, right, of the congregation. About this time when I was visited by a shadow figure when I was 11 years old, for example, and I was absolutely paralyzed, and calling upon the name of God to protect me from demons didn't work. And actually I'm super grateful for that experience because it kickstarted a lot of opening my mind and to the paranormal, to the occult. There is 2 books that I've read who helped me see through the manipulation of that structure, which is the Jehovah's Witness. The first book is The Saga of Dune by Frank Herbert.
An animal caught in a trap will gnaw off its own leg to escape. What will you do?
Because there is a very clear explanation of how religions can be devised in a way to manipulate psychologically and mentally entire population.
Arrakis is a death trap.
And that was very revealing for me, seeing the same patterns and the same tools being used in what I've been raised into. And the second book that finished to expand my mind was actually the Bible. I read the Bible from beginning to end. It took me 4 years. I told you I was very dedicated because it's an absurd book. It's not a book, it's a collection of books that most often have nothing to do with each other. Sometimes they do. And they've been packed and decided as being a whole. And at the end of it, I had much more questions than answers. And mind you, once again, I was not allowed to question what the governing body, what my elders, what my community said. This is written that way, but you should understand it this way. I was like, that doesn't make any sense. I was extremely unhappy and depressed at that time. My family environment was not the best as well, but it's absolutely normal when you consider the definition of love from the Jehovah's Witness. Love is obedience. Obey. This is the meaning of love. Obey or you get killed. This is exactly how God behaved in the Bible. So it's no surprise that the fathers of those families behave in the same way, in the sense of punishment and rewards in an extreme way that go through physical sanction as well. I was beaten up by my dad, and that was not something unusual or immoral, because God kill and torture itself. So I had to muster the courage to move out of my family and to reset my life, because if you are a baptized Jehovah's Witness, and mind you, you go out of it, you are being shunned. So it means that you will lose all your friends, all your family. No one will ever talk to you ever again, unless you repent and try to get reenacted and go back to the congregation, which was not in my plan and never been and will never be. No, I feel this connection with the divine, and I think that the truth is not there, so I need to look around. So I first started to study other forms of Christianity, not only study but practice other forms of Christianity, because I still believe in the Christian model of God the Creator and Jesus His Son. But then I had to look more, and it leads me eventually to magic. I would have so much to say actually about my journey, my spiritual journey. It took me in so many different paths, and that's somewhat beautiful, and that's the reason why I'm so happy to share and to help other people also find their own mark, find how to cultivate spiritual freedom. This is my path now. In the do-it-yourself spirituality, which I took it from chaos magic subculture, by the way, you try and you see what works, what makes you have the best life. And for me, definitely that was magic. But that can be something else for you. So yeah, I just give you a very short summary because I don't want this video to be too long. I could talk about the fact when I discovered capoeira, for example, which saved my life through a dear friend of mine when I was 16 years old. Because practicing a martial art, which is not really the case in terms of capoeira, was absolutely thought as being demonic and satanic for the Jehovah's Witness. But that was my way out to be more in tune with my body. You can see a lot of Jehovah's Witness are not in their body. They're not even in their emotion. They don't know what it is to feel deeply themselves. They're only in a state of constant denial of this experience of the physical world, because the physical world is of Satan and until God intervene and fix everything magically, well, this experience here on earth will always be painful and hellish. So you can understand that you've been raised in a place of absolute disempowerment. You are broken, you are nothing, you're full of sin, your flesh is sinful, and you can't fix anything. You can't make anything better in this life because only God has the key and will fix everything eventually for you if you're still faithful. So it's a long way to move from this spiritual disempowerment, slavery, to find back confidence and inner calm and alignment. It's a long, long journey, and I'm so glad that through magic and through different tools that I've been using, I found that peace. I found that love for myself that I want to share with you. Love yourself. This is the only way. It's not the love of God. It's even worse. In the Bible it says the fear of God is the beginning of wisdom. Can you imagine living in the fear of God? I've been raised in the fear of God. You've been shown pictures of children dying when they don't listen to God.
Once you fall down and you don't feel like you can get up, it's like you get up by yourself. God can help you, but He can't make you get up. If you keep beating yourself down like, I can't do it, I always fail, that's not very productive.
Yeah, but it all comes down to what is your definition of God. Is God a fatherly figure outside of you, looking from above and judging everything you do and making sure that you might be destroyed during His intervention if you're not being in line? Or is God the source of creation which resides in your consciousness, everywhere, in everything you see and feel? You can have a loving relationship with God if your definition of God is not the one that has been given by a patriarchal institution which is absolutely sadistic at its core.
Oof. What has been some things that really hurt you?
A lot of things hurted me in the Jehovah's Witness, but most often is the fact that everybody was denying themselves, denying their feelings, denying their experience, and everybody's miserable there, and they pretend the opposite. So that creates this immense gap between what they feel, what they're going through, and it's like, oh yeah, but anyway, God will fix it eventually when Armageddon will come. So there's like this huge state of depression, but no, we are happy people, we sing our songs of love and everything, but there's this huge hypocrisy. Yeah, this is what really hurt me as a child, because as a very intuitive and empathic being, I was very aware of that, when people are lying to themselves and to me. Yeah, that was like knives in my heart all the time.
Oh, yeah.
And so you never feel free to be really yourself as a Jehovah's Witness, because before you speak anything to any other member of the congregation, you check with yourself. Or will they judge me? Will I keep my image as a good Christian, or will they think that I'm slowly doubting or failing? So you can't never be vulnerable. And the few times I try to be, well, I was shut down or I was punished by my parents or by the elders. It's interesting to see how much resentment and anger the ex-Jehovah's Witnesses have, and I would understand them completely. But I'm past that phase of hatred. I had to go through that in order to purge my subconscious. I've used a lot of blasphemy techniques. What was the most fearful and the most scary things to do as a Jehovah's Witness? So I had to say, all right, let's see if there is some truth in demonic influence or not. And so I was confronting my fear by doing those kind of rituals and say, Satan, come to me. And I sacrifice to you this Bible, I spit on it, I shit on it, I burn that shit, It's like doing a desecration act from the books that I've been raised as a kid, that has imprinting on my mind the fear of God and the fear of life. I had to destroy them and to use them to free myself and to understand that beyond the facade of Satan is the devil that wants you dead or whatever, I found only myself actually. Through magic, I only found myself. I would be extremely happy to share more about all those different techniques that I've been using, and why not sharing them with ex-Jehovah's Witness that need to cleanse the subconscious mind deeply. And maybe magic would be a way, you know why? Because this is absolutely forbidden by the governing body. This is what it means to be an heretic. It's experiential way of knowledge, not dogmatic. I repeat what the elders have told me and the way I should interpret the Bible and my life. No, do your own experiments. Magic can be for you if you feel this call, if you feel this need to soothe your heart, to open your heart and to confront your deepest fear.
My personal path has also have had a lot to do with me confronting my fears, like just taking the thing that I'm most afraid of and I don't think I can ever do and doing it, and then that opens up like a space that has not, like everything, if everything in my mind has been cluttered, and that's doing something that I've never done before, just like opens up like the door to a new room that's completely empty.
Yeah.
So it's like a breath of fresh air, and once I started doing that, I feel like that was just the beginning of my conscious life.
Yes.
Just like me confronting my biggest fear at that
Yes. Because you went through that as well in your own way, you understand the amount of courage that is required to take yourself out of those fears and out of
Yes,
that box.
for sure.
So sometimes it can be impossible to do that by yourself. And that's the reason why I'm doing this YouTube channel. That's the reason why I'm opening myself as well through my past in all vulnerability, because if you need some help, well, there's a lot of people ready to help you. You can contact Vivian that I was talking about in the beginning, for example. You can contact me as well. I started to propose my service as a coach to get in tune with your emotion and communicate clearly with them. If you're a Jehovah's Witness or an ex-Jehovah's Witness which is still struggling with all this huge conditioning, yeah, we are many to help you and to help you move as fast as possible through those phases of resentment and anger, because they're not serving you. It's like the faster you forgive, the faster you move out, the better for you, the better your life will be, trust me. Because it's so long that I've been living the Jehovah's Witness now, I can also see the good things into it, or having been raised into the Jehovah's Witness. But that would be maybe the topic of another video. So thank you so much for your attention. If you need anything, if you like it, if you want me to expand a little bit more, if you have any questions, you drop a comment. I'd be really happy to tell more about that. And as usual, if you want to support the Soulpunk TV show, you subscribe, like, share, and feel free to check once again the social media account of my friend Ralitza, and to see how the drawings turns out eventually, because she's gonna take a little bit more time, and I can see here it's very good already. Thank you so much. I love you. Extremely hierarchical.